Ladies and gentlemen and everything in between, welcome. What's going on? Welcome back to another Friday night episode of Aid Thompson and Other Disappointments, guys. Episode 367, I gather, if my maths is accurate. 367 episodes we've done of this now, which is either really impressive or really tragic. is what that is. 367. Like, sometimes people see the number of episodes that you've done and they go, oh, you've been at this for a while. Like, it's going well. Is it? It's going well. You're still doing it. 367. Jesus. Yeah, you're a bit of a veteran. Oh, that's impressive, Abe. Sometimes people think that way. But other times it's like, you've been doing this for how long? Like, you've been through 367 times you've sat out in your shed. Have you shouting at yourself into your little mic with a few Patreons and YouTube channel members. What's up, guys? By the way, people in the live chat, 367 times though, Aid. I mean, that's a lot. That's, yeah. Where is this headed? Where is it? Is it headed to you finally becoming medicated? Is that where it's headed? Getting a prescription? Having a little chat with the GP? Is that where it's headed? Or online content creation success? We don't know. We don't know if it's good and impressive or tragic. We won't know that for another couple of years. I guess, like, if it was on its way to somewhere, or if it was just really tragic that I was still doing it. 367 episodes in. Anyway, what's going on? What's going on to people in the live chat? Trip, Richard Grumpy, Git, Diz, my resident chat monitor. Diz is in the house. Mojo Sabian also lending a hand in that regard. What's going on, peeps? Everybody good? Everybody had a all right week, a passable week? Has it been half term for some of you guys, has it? But yeah, welcome back. It's another Friday night, peeps. Another Friday night. Your veritable 90-minute marathon of me talking shit. A marathon, so it is. Or veritable speak-off is how I'm rebranding it this week to channel the celebrated lyricism of Diddy. Is probably what he would call it, right? Anyway, we should probably get into the news, talk about some current affairs stuff, a bit of politics, a bit of satire. If we can squeeze some out this evening. I suppose, first up, before we get into the newsy stuff, first up, a rare apology from me. A rare apology this evening. There was a guy who commented on the alternative paper review this morning. It was a guy with the handle Jesus Christ. That's his name on YouTube. And I misinterpreted what he said in his comment. It was a video about, or mostly about, the Liverpool Ram raid thing and the fact that they've arrested somebody. The suspect is now charged with, I think it's GBH or aggravated GBH or something. And anyway, he put a comment on there and I misinterpreted it. I thought for some reason, like maybe it was just like I just finished editing a thing about right-wingers going Christian, performatively going Christian. So, like, that whole thing was sort of fresh in my mind. Or maybe it was the fact that I was sort of, like, bleary-eyed and weary, like, kind of relatively early on in the day. But I must have skim-read it. Must have not really read it properly. Because I thought that what he said, I took it as him complaining about asylum seekers in a hotel, like he was blaming them. When in actual fact, he was making the opposite point. He was making the point that people who rally to the support of right-wing Liverpudlian Ram Raiders, those people would find some way to blame it on refugees or use refugees as a distraction. So I'm sorry, Jesus. I clap back a little bit at Jesus. I'm sorry, Jesus Christ. I hold my hands up. Guys, I got that one wrong. I misinterpreted it. And I clapped back a little bit too snarkily. And yeah, so that was... And also thanks to those of you, there was about 2 or 3 of you who came to the Son of God's defense in this little thing this morning. So thank you to you guys, because honestly, like, I would have just like typed the thing, posted it, and then not really thought any more about it, right? And I was a little bit rude back to him. You know, just as you imagined that I would be, or I might be. If you think someone is blaming asylum seekers for something unnecessarily, like, you clap back, don't you? You tried to correct them. Take the piss out of them a little bit. Be a bit snarky. But on this occasion, I got it wrong, guys. So yes, I am sorry about that. And yeah, anyway. As I said on my follow-up comment earlier on YouTube back to him, I said, I'm sorry. I just hope that Jesus Christ can employ his talent for forgiveness on this occasion. Because I think it's important, right? It's important to acknowledge when you've done something wrong, when you've got something a bit wrong, right? Like, I always think it's weird when people can't apologize for shit, even when it's blindingly obvious that they have got something ferociously wrong. You know, it's a weird personality flaw to have that. Because, like, I understand it. I mean, it's quite transparent, right? You can kind of get your head around why they don't. I think the psychology of it is, if I admit that I got the thing wrong, or that I misunderstood something, then that is a sign of weakness. And people won't respect me. They'll love me more if I double down, because then, A, I'm not wrong, but B, also I'm strong and I win. I win whatever this weird argument game is. So I understand the psychology of it. But actually, it's a bit like if you hold your hands up, you know, if you say to your group of people or to that person or to your tribe, I suppose, to use, you know, psychological or therapy kind of talk. If you hold your hands up to your tribe and you admit that you got something wrong, that you did misunderstand it, like, to me, I feel like that's the strength, you know, that's the bravery. That's just hold up your hand and go, all right, okay, all right, I may have fucked up a little bit. I'm sorry, right? That's the strength to me, to my mind. That should earn you brownie points with the group or the tribe. Because that's somebody who, you know, you can take them at their word next time, hopefully. Because you know that if they did get it wrong, then they would at least have the balls to admit it. Like, have you ever gone traveling, guys? Have you ever gone traveling with a friend, or taken a train up to London with somebody, and, you know, you get into a stupid tit for tat little picking at each other argument, and, you know, you're arguing about, like, the train times or something, or what time your flight departure is, or whatever. And you're like, well, I think it's gate 23, which is over this way. And your friend is like, no, it's definitely gate 22. And everything that is over 15 is that way. So you're arguing about this, you know, little thing. I suppose it's not that little, is it? End up missing your flight, blowing £1,000 unnecessarily. But, you know, you're arguing about the gate numbers. You're both apparently relatively certain that you know where this fucking flight's departing from. So your mate is like, it's gate 22 and everything over 15 is that way, not this way. You say it's gate 23, he says that way, right? And so then you need to correct this individual, and he's sort of arguing about this. It's getting a bit testy, right? Because it's winding you up. You know you're right. He knows he's right. So you're like, it's really not. It's not. You've got the gate number wrong, and it's not that way. Like, I know which way the gate is, and all of the odd numbers are down that escalator over there, you say. And then you end up going your way because you shout the loudest. You're the more alpha or whatever. And you arrive at the right gate. You get to the correct gate. You were right. It is the correct gate. It is the correct plane. It was in the right direction. And then you don't even rub it into them. You don't even make a thing out of it. But they feel sort of slightly embarrassed and unconfident about it. So then they try to defend themselves. They're like, yeah, but I mean, my way was actually was a little bit faster because it would have got us here too. Because it crosses the thing. Like, have you ever had that? You know, where you knew that you were right, and then you argue, and then it turns out that you are right, but then the other person is just like, no, actually, no, because it's the thing. It's the thing. So I wasn't wrong. You know, have you ever had that? Where somebody fibs to your face, obviously, transparently, for no reason. And then it's even worse, isn't it? It's even worse at that point than them just looking a little bit silly for a minute for the mistake that they might have made. Because then it's like, oh my God, like what else would you be willing to lie about? Like, this didn't even matter. This was nothing. I've already forgotten about it. Like, what other dark and twisted untruths have you tarred our love with, you might say? Anyway, I suppose we should talk about the news, really, shouldn't we? People in the live chat. Bit of a weird segue to go into. What's happened this week, guys? What has happened this week in the news? People in the live chat, have you got any favourite news stories that have bled their way across your feeds this week? What have you soiled your eyes with newspaper-wise? Anything caught your eye as we've been putting the world to rights over its many, many wrongs? I noticed a story earlier, a short while before I came online, and Russell Brand has just pled not guilty to rape and sexual assault charges. The Tate brothers, they say that they are not guilty. And they are about to be charged, apparently, with rape and sex trafficking. Bad week to be a bellend, apparently. Elon Musk, guys. Elon Musk has finally left the White House, hasn't he? Elon is gone now. We can turn the page on a atrocious chapter of history. Elon Musk has departed the White House. So that's the whole Doge thing over then, is it? I guess. Is that all done with now? Department of Government Efficiency, that's what he was brought in to do. Is that all just done? Now it's just over. Because if it is, like, it's pretty weird, isn't it? Pretty weird that he's left so quickly. And it's indicative or illustrative of how quickly politics moves these days in the West in 2025. You know, like all of that fanfare with Elon Musk at the rallies, all of that money, those hundreds of millions of dollars in donations and checks that he was paying to people to like buy their votes. The firings across all of these federal agencies, the shutdowns of others, the merry band of teenage hackers that he led into these government departments, the chainsaw at that rally The AFD appearance. The Teslas getting infomercialed outside the White House by the president. The president of the United States selling cars for Elon. And now what are we, 5 months in? It would have been, right? 5 months into his tenure, and already Elon Musk is gonzo. And I'm forced to ask the question, what did he actually achieve in that time? What did he get for his $100 million? What does that buy you? Do you think that you're willing to walk away only 5 months into that unelected, really weird, Machiavellian, dark suit, dark MAGA cap role? Like, what do you get for the $100 million? Answers in the live chat, please. What does $100 million buy you these days? Do we think? What did he actually achieve in those months? Because I did a little bit of research on this earlier. And he said he cancelled some research on transgender mice. I don't know if you saw that. That was a sort of meme that bubbled up right in the middle of the Doge program, where they were saying they were uncovering all of this waste, and these journalists were like, well, what kind of waste? Like, can you show us some evidence? They were like, no. And they were like, can you explain to us what you found? And he was like, transgender mice. We found, research, transgender, or monkeys. That was another one. They said transgender monkeys. They were stopping the research on that. They were pulling funding. But then it turned out that it was actually some trans-related medication, and it was being trialed, as a lot of these medications are. It was being trialed to see if it helped with regard to HIV infection or something. And the way that they report these things, or reported that thing, made it sound like the US, Federal Research Agency, just writing billion-dollar checks for random quack laboratories to just see if they can turn a female monkey into a male monkey. Let's just do that. That'll be fun. Let's turn the girl monkey into a boy for a goof. It's going to cost about $1 billion. Could we do that? We can. Oh, it's amazing. Oh, I'm loving this gravy train. That's the way it was written. It's like, that's where your tax money is going. Isn't it outrageous? Thank God I'm here to save the day. And this is the thing with populism, isn't it? This is why it's so dangerous to get populists with their hands in the treasury. It's like, obviously, there's millions of dollars that are spent on research. Every country does it. Every country wants to progress technologically, scientifically. They want to keep their populations healthier. So clearly, unsurprisingly, the US is no different. They spend millions of dollars in laboratories, on science, on tests, on research. And they do it in different ways. And obviously, some of that somewhere is going to be misspent, right? I think we could all accept that. I'm not saying that this study was misspent. I'm not saying any particular study has been misspent, but it seems to me reasonable to accept that somewhere in, I don't know, $100 billion budget, that maybe $1 million, maybe $5 million may have been misspent here and there. There's a margin of error. Doesn't seem outrageous to think that that is how some of it maybe ends up getting wasted. There's sort of examples that you can think of, like how they might end up kind of quote unquote wasting tax money would be like if there was a study greenlit by the Federal Research Science Agency or whatever that fucking entity is. If it was greenlit by that, and it is tax money, right? And it's a study to see how coyotes respond to nursery rhymes. Right? That, just off the top, sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? Are you going to spend tax money on what? Oh, we're gonna blow $5 million on this research project to see how coyotes respond to nursery rhyme music. People would be like, well, why? What are you seeking to gain out of that? What is this money for? Couldn't we allocate it somewhere that actually needs the $5 million? But then you read deeper, like you pick underneath it, and then it turns out that actually what they're doing is this is part of like suburban research to keep coyotes out of built up suburban areas. And it was one of like 30 different methods to try to establish ways of repelling coyotes away from areas where they might bite a fucking kid or something, right? So then, in context, when it's contextualized, it kind of makes sense. But the headline itself is like, they're spending what? They're spending $5 million playing nice, cuddly Peppa Pig themes to coyotes? Well, this takes the piss, right? But this is the problem with populism, is you get populists in the treasury and they do market that stuff, those narratives out there. And then they're like, oh, well, look, they're wasting your taxes just like I said that they were. Look, $5 million on a coyote study. That's ridiculous. You know what? I think it'd be better if we canceled all of the science and DEI and this, that, and the other. We'll cancel all of that. Can't be wasting your tax dollars. Anyway, I'm going to go run this way for my new Martian subsidy rocket package. See you later. That's how it works. Is they get you to go like, I don't like that. I don't like that. These people can't be trusted with the American tax dollars. So yes, we should vote them out. And then this guy runs in, gets his whole fucking fleet of disposable rockets paid for. Also in America this week. Also in America, Trump's tariffs were ruled illegal by activist judges. It was a terrible Trump impression. Trump's tariffs ruled illegal by activist judges. Ruled illegal, but, you know. What even are judges anymore in the United States? Do you know what I mean? What even is illegal in America in 2025? Like, these terms don't really, like, it's hard to say what is illegal, what is a judge in America in 2025. Like, the president broke the law. The president is a convicted felon, a fraudster. That's the president. He's a law-breaking convict who also ignores the Supreme Court, the highest court in the land. He ignores them, and he's a convicted felon, and he pardons other criminals. So what even is law? What does illegal mean in the United States when the commander-in-chief is a lawbreaker who pardons other lawbreakers and ignores the Supreme Court? What does it even mean? Guys, like, I don't know why anyone thinks he's going to obey this ruling. You know, this law. Oh, they've deemed your tariffs illegal. Oh, well, I hope he behaves himself this time. Not going to happen. He doesn't give a fuck. In fact, actually, earlier when I was having a quick read of the newest of the newest news, I was going to say the newest, you know, sort of amalgam, isn't it? US and anyway, when I was reading a sort of update on it earlier, it said that he's won a temporary reprieve or something. Or an appeal, or like, basically what it means is, like, even though it's been deemed illegal, whilst it goes through the review process, the appeal process, he can still continue with his tariffs, which is so again, like, what even is illegal? It's like they've decided it's illegal. But then, like, shouldn't it be the reverse? Like, they've decided it's illegal. It will be illegal until he can prove that it isn't. Like, shouldn't that be how things work? Rather than they've decided that it's illegal, he's appealing it, and then they're like, well, you know, let's hear him out. We'll give Donnie a little chance. He's dead. Nobody ever gives him a chance. That's the problem. Nobody ever gave that poor billionaire a fucking chance. When is he going to catch a break? Guys. Elsewhere in the United States, Marjorie Taylor Greene, guys. Can we get a round of applause for Marjorie Taylor Greene? Friend of the show. MGT, she's suddenly being termed as. I guess she's like the sort of MAGA AOC, you know? Triple barrel, double barrel surnames. Shorten it down. AOC on the left, MGT on the right. Marjorie Taylor Greene, she got into a spat with an AI bot this week. I don't know if you saw this, but it raised a rare smile from me as I read this. Marjorie Taylor Greene getting into a spat with an AI bot. It's really an exercise in near parodical comedy. It's just ripe for a mauling, this sort of story. Because not only is it MAGA, not only is it... let's go into it. Basically what the substance is you get these... I mentioned earlier, like I've been doing a bit of work, like a few videos on performative Christians, right? The most recent one of those has been a little clip from last week's podcast about Joe Rogan. And about how he's suddenly started going back to church. He's reversed out of his atheism. He's found God. He's becoming a Christian again, guys. Good for him. But one of the things I've been looking at this week is like performative Christians, where their drive to become Christian or become a better Christian or advertise Christianity, that drive only comes from the gaudy force field that they think it then gifts them. You know, so like on Joe Rogan, I'll start again. So on the Joe Rogan video, I talked a bit about like Matt Getz. I talked a bit about Russell Brand and Gabby Hanna. These are individuals who have got themselves in bother and then latterly decided they were Christian. But a lot of other celebrities do it too, and politicians and so on. Like, they do horrible things, or they say horrible things, and then subsequently they treat the cross round their neck like it's a holy force field that protects them from criticism. And Marjorie Taylor Greene is this in spades, isn't she? Old MTG. She does nothing to help anybody, much less the needy. She spends all of her time and political capital fucking around with the culture war, owning the libs. But she pretends that she's a Christian because then no matter what she says or what she does, inarguably she's good then. She's good. Gosh, she's so good with the way she puts a cross on. And that is literally it. That's the extent of the goodness. And anyway, so she put out a tweet this week about how she's a Christian. And it says, let me read this to you. Where is it? I read about this on Pink News. That's not the right one. How do I get that? That's not going to work, is it? I'll just have to read it to you. She put out a tweet this week. It says, I'm a Christian, an imperfect sinner, saved by grace and faith in Jesus. She's saved. I'm a nationalist, a proud American who loves my country and wants to make our home nation the best place for all American citizens and future generations to come. I'm a mother, thankful for the blessings and responsibility that God gave me with my children. I'm a Christian, an imperfect sinner. I'm saved by grace and faith in Jesus. Blah, blah, fucking blah, right? So, And anyway, like in the comments, I didn't realize you could do this on Twitter because I don't really go on it anymore. I just post links to the alternative paper review or like, you know, a live show if there's a live show going on. But I don't use it to like get in conversations with people. I don't really fuck with it at all. But in this I'm a Christian thing, somebody replies back to it and they ask the Twitter AI chatbot thing. You can ask it questions like in the thread, which is quite cool, right? So she says, I'm a Christian, and somebody like replies back in the AI chatbot thing, and it says, is Marjorie Taylor Greene really a Christian? And the bot replies, the bot says, Marjorie Taylor Greene identifies as a Christian, expressing faith in Jesus and traditional beliefs, like in her 2021 Christmas message. However, because it's balanced, right? These AI bots, they drink in information from all corners of the globe, newspapers, the internet, and they are able to form a conclusion that has to be reasonably balanced and rooted in reality. So she identifies as a Christian, expressing faith in Jesus, blah, blah, blah. However, her Christian nationalism and support for conspiracy theories like QAnon spark debate. Critics, including religious leaders, argue her actions contradict Christian values of love and unity, citing her defense of January the 6th and divisive rhetoric. Supporters may see her stances as faith-driven. Whether she's really a Christian is subjective, depending on personal and theological views. Her faith appears genuine to her, but public actions create controversy. And so, faced with the choice of admitting she's wrong, right? Admitting she's holding up her hands in the airport with the airport gates. Faced with the choice of admitting she's wrong, admitting that she's got something wrong, that she might have misinterpreted something or behaved shamefully or whatever. Which is probably the Christian thing to do, weirdly. You know, you probably admit your faults and your flaws and try to do better, right? I can imagine that's... I'm not a Christian, but I can imagine that's probably somewhere in the Bible. Do better. Don't blame. But faced with that choice of accepting your flaws and trying to do better, or doubling down, which one do you think she chose? Which one do we think is good Christian? So good. The way that she holds that cross around her neck, the way she wears that crucifix, guys, is so good. Which way do we think she went? People in the live chat. Did she exhibit the good values, the understanding and accepting values of a good Christian? Or do we think, of course she doubled down, of course she did. So she doubles down and she sanely starts arguing with the AI chatbot. The AI chatbot gets it in the ear from Marjorie Taylor Greene, from MTG. So she quote tweets it. She says, "The judgment seat belongs to God. Not you, a non-human AI platform." It's not a platform, Marge. Not a platform. It's an application. The judgment seat belongs to God, not you, a non-human AI platform. Grok is left-leaning and continues to spread fake news and propaganda. When people give up their own discernment, stop seeking the truth and depend on AI to analyze information, they will be lost, she says. So yeah. You see, MTG, Marjorie Taylor Greene. She's a Christian. And she's good. She's so good. And she's saved by Jesus. So yeah, don't you dare try and judge her with your facts and reality, you bloody pagans, you heathens. Fact and reality and science is left-leaning, isn't it? I think that's what we're establishing here. Facts, reality, and science and technology are left-leaning by their nature. It's fake news. It's propaganda. And it's wild, man, isn't it? It's wild what we're observing in America now. When we read stories like this or catch developments on X like this. Like you could write a blog about Gaza, and then these same people, these same MAGA nut jobs, will be like, we're going to jail you, son. You're never going to see the outside world again. You're going to jail. Write a blog on Gaza, you're going to jail. But help Benji bomb Gaza, and then it's only God can judge me. The seat of judgment is reserved for God. Only God can judge me. So back off. It's like, did you support Benji? Were you cheering on Netanyahu? You were selling arms, you were selling bombs and looking the other way while he's blowing up babies in fucking Israel and Gaza? Like, is that you? It's fake news. No, it's fake news. It's propaganda. AI is left-leaning. It's all fake. Like, at what point do we just come out and say, at what point do we say that reality, actual reality, is left-leaning? You know? And that much of the right, psychologically, has left the building. You know, at what point do we say, like, I don't want to say all conservatives, because there's, you know, some of you listen to and watch this show for balance, to keep yourself grounded or whatever. Some of you out there are conservatives with small c's, and you are still relatively sane. You know, maybe you like low tax, small government, the government staying out of your business, and all of that. And good for you. But much of the mainstream political right now is so frenzied and frog-boiled, isn't it? From Robert fucking Jenrick to Kemi to Liz Truss and Boris, like former prime ministers, lobbying for the release of Lucy Connolly, pretending it's two-tier policing. Like, so much of the right is completely fucking frog-boiled. And it's not just over here, like with our guys, is it? You know, it's all the way through to Trump and his VP and his supporting ensemble cast. Like, the stuff that they obsess about or reject with their own eyes and ears is just not reality, is it? It's not. So reality is left-leaning while the right have left the building. How long before we can just actually, adequately, academically say that? You know, the left live in reality, the right, the modern, populist, Crayola gargling right, for them it appears to be all like, you know, QAnon and the Pizzagate shit and the deep state and two-tier policing and weaponized judiciaries and this serial killer over here is innocent, didn't you know? Oh, and autism is fake and chemtrails are real. Guys. But these are not serious people any longer. How long before we can just adequately, academically, seriously say that? Like, at what point do we stop even trying to win them over? You know, or win the debate, or lobby with them to try to get them to be reasonable or to see and understand reason. At what point do we just give up on that? You know, and instead just kind of acknowledge that where we think we are or have been debating politics, that actually what we're doing is trying to win at chess with a drunken rabid Rottweiler. Like, that's more accurate. That feels like where we are now. At what point, like, how long do we have to wait now before we actually... Because we're going to get there. At some point, someone somewhere is going to go, these are not serious people. They're not reasonable. They're not seeing sense. They're just sticking their hands in their ears, covering their eyes. La, la, la. I'm living in a fantasy nightmare of my own manufacturing. Two-tier policing. Kid farming. Anyway. What was I going to move on to next? God, it's 8:15 already. How are we doing in the live chat? What's going on with the people in the live chat? Guys, we've got Unquiet Badger. We've got Pele. We've got Hidnite. We've got Hazel Hun. What's up, Hazel? We've got Glenn. We've got Jim Speak. Mojo's in the house. Mojo was in the house earlier, actually. What was I talking about again? Oh, yeah. How long? How long is it going to be before we reach that conclusion? Like, at what point does America just go, do you know what? What do they call it? Politainment. Don't they? The politainment of all this was fun, you know, for a bit with Donald Trump and his rallies and Hillary Clinton. Like, the politainment element of all of this. It was all right. It was a laugh for a little bit. But I've been thinking about it. I've been thinking about the country and, you know, the future of it, the sort of country I want to leave for my kids and my grandkids. And I was seriously considering it. I was really thinking about this. I was thinking about who might make a credible custodian, who might have the sense of responsibility, the integrity to be a custodian of the most powerful nation on earth. And actually, you know, I never really thought about it before, but actually now I come to think about it, maybe I don't want people like Marjorie Taylor Greene. Maybe I don't want this fucking bleach blonde nut job and her Jewish space laser conspiracy theories. I don't think she's one of our best. I don't think she's qualified now that I come to think of it. How long before America join me in that conclusion? You know, how long before somebody that gets to decide that decision goes, yeah, maybe not Marjorie. I don't know. Right, there's another story I wanted to talk about tonight. Let me just scroll down a little bit, see if I can get to it. Where are we? Oh, yeah, okay. So, frequent and fervent viewers will know and attest that occasionally we do round off the podcast, the Friday night podcast, with a weird news story, don't we? We like to find something weird and wonderful that's bubbled up on the Reddit threads, on Twitter, or whatever, and then give it a bit of a roast. And I share it with you guys. It's like a little goodie that I come to the podcast on a Friday night with. And on this occasion, it's not that good. On this occasion, it's going to ruin your fucking night. It's I don't know if you'll make it through the entirety of this next segment. This is a thing that popped up on my feed on Instagram, and honestly, I have no idea why. I don't think I have anything in common with this individual. It's not my sort of target market. I'm not the right demographic for it. It is literally the worst thing that I've witnessed, and that is after 5 years of open mic comedy. So you be the judge. You can judge that. God can judge everything else in his seat that Marjorie Taylor Greene is reserved for him, but you can judge this. It is eye soil, is what it is. It's brain rot. It is the kind of shit, awful entertainment that is impressive only in its ability to make blindness appealing. There are people that have watched this video who have then walked outside to stare directly at the sun for twice the length of the same video in the insatiable desire to not just melt their corneas, but burn an image in the sun. Burn an image of the sun in their minds. So it goes over the burnt-in imagery of this fucking cringe bomb video. Are you ready? Are you ready, guys? Shall we take a look? Literally nobody in the live chat is excited about this video, and that is the correct reaction. Right, let's get into it. Are you ready? How do I press play on this? Have I got to go back to Instagram to make it work? Hold on. What the fuck? Sorry, bear with. Oh no, the whole fucking thing is... Right, okay, hold on a sec. Hold on, guys. Right. Already, you haven't even heard it yet, and you're probably thinking like, what the fuck? Right, here we go. Are you ready? Let's listen to this together. Right. Let me go back. I'm going to go back to the beginning of the video. Hold on a sec. Let me see if I can get right at the beginning.
For anybody that served in the U.S. military, this song is for you.
Wait, hold on. I want the...
This song is for you.
Where's the yeah? Like, oh my God. Oh my God, guys. If you served in the U.S. military, this song is for you. That's when you know it's going to be good, I think, is the intro. Military songs. Always really good. Rarely do they miss. Much like the American military. Winners. Always. Military songs. American nationalist military songs. That's when you know it's going to be a hit. What do you say? If you served in the U.S. military, this song is for you. Goody. Goody. Almost worth losing my legs, I think. This is what I was fighting for.
For anybody that served in the U.S. military, this song is for you.
See, there's like a technique. There's a technique in like doing music videos. I don't know what it's called. Somebody in the live chat can update me if they know the correct term for this, the industry term. But it's a technique where when they film a music video, they actually play the song at double speed. Did you know that? When they film like your favorite singer singing along to the thing for the music video, it's the actual audio that they themselves are singing along to is played at double speed. So it sounds to them like the Chipmunks. And then when they go into the like editing suite, they lay the same track, but then they slow the video down. And so that's why in the video footage, even though you're listening to like the song sounds normal to you, right, on a music video, but when you're watching them sing it, it's like they're moving in slow, they're singing in slow motion. It's quite a cool effect. But this guy's not doing that, is he? They haven't. I don't know if he didn't learn it, or like, is this a student director that's doing it? But he's not. But it's like, look, hold on. I'll show you the thing again. Look, watch this. So I've got it on mute now. Don't worry. But it's like he's moving deliberately, slightly slow. I don't know if it, maybe I'm imagining it, but it's like he's moving slightly slow to mimic that, like that there. to mimic that sort of thing, but it's like he hasn't. The technique just doesn't in there. It's fascinating though. I can't look away. It's like a fucking car crash, man. Why do we think he's holding the guitar? By the way, there's a question for the live chat. Why do we think he's holding that guitar? Like, it's not plugged in, is it? It's not plugged in. It's literally a prop. He's just holding it, sort of dancing around. He's not playing it. Do we even think he's actually the singer? Do you think he's the singer? Or do we think it could be shit AI? Couldn't it? Could be AI these days. You don't know. I feel sorry for whoever's being deep faked. You know, can you imagine if you got deep faked and then this was the video that they cast your face like onto, and all your friends like texting you, go like, "What the fuck is this? What is this? Why are you dancing around?" Like, oh God. They tried to blackmail me to not put it out, but I said, go fuck yourself, and now it's everywhere. I would rather that they had shared my dick pics and sex tapes, because this is humiliating. You know, it could be shit AI. You just don't know these days, do you? Could be something by the Pentagon. Could be something like manufactured, generated, or filmed and produced by the Pentagon, and like they're trying to drum up support, you know, for America, for nationalism, and this is like a sort of guerrilla marketing thing. Could be, right? I know it sounds a little bit far out, doesn't it? Sounds a bit out there. Bit outrageous. But then Marjorie Taylor Greene's a fucking congresswoman or some shit, and she thinks there's such a thing as Jewish space lasers. And QAnon. Almost forgot QAnon there for Marge. But I don't know, man. It could be a guerrilla marketing thing. It's like, do you think they found this guy like on a modeling site? I get the feeling he's not even the singer. Like, they found him on a model. Because look at him. Look, like he's built, isn't he? He's built. He's got frame to him. And I don't think he plays guitar. I think the guitar is a prop. You know, I think he's been cast in this role. I don't think it's a deep fake. But they could have found him on a modeling site. They've just given him a guitar. You know, he's probably not even American. Probably not even American guy. Like, they just hired some Slovak guy off Upwork as a model. And their only, like, qualifying thing was like, yeah, could you do an American accent? Are you good with an American accent? Like, maybe I could have been cast if I'd gone to the gym a bit. I don't know. Can you do an American accent? You can? Okay, cool. Do you know anything about guitars? No, nothing. Nothing. Okay. All right. He doesn't know guitar. He could just hold it? You could just hold it. That's fine. You just got to stand there and look pretty with your muscles. Thank everybody. Thank people for their service and for fully sitting through this video, because it is a fucking abortion. This video is terrible. Make sure you thank people for watching it. I mean, it sounds far-fetched, but I wouldn't rule it out. It's so over the top. It's so, like, cliche cast, you know? Like, you're an American. That's who you're going to cast you as, an American, and so you're going to have a buzz cut and a tank top and bulging fucking muscles. You're going to have some muscles, blue jeans like you just finished work. Down the old factory thing. So buzz cut, blue jeans, bulging muscles, and a mustache. Like you're playing an extra in a 2006 cop show. That's your character. It's your motivation. Swing the guitar around. Should we have another quick listen? Why not? I've listened to it, so now you all have to too. You ready? Here we go.
For you.
That American pride. It feels great to be alive, guys. Feels. I mean, it's a rock song, isn't it? It's a rock song. Have I got any super chats that I need to check back on? Hold on. Oh, fucking hell, I do. How do I do that? How do I flip to it? Top chat? Hold on. Let me scan back up. I don't know. Did somebody super chat or did they... I just read it. Alistair Kerr, sorry, has pledged, has thrown £5 in aid just for you to stop playing that. Please stop. Okay, fine. We won't play any more of it, but we will talk about it. Like, it's a rock song. It's a rock song, isn't it, guys? It's a patriotic military rock song. So just, you know, if you're going to write something like that, just wave your guitar around. Thank the veterans, and then wave your guitar around. Your unplugged guitar. In fact, that's what it is. That's what it is. It's Slovak Unplugged. That's what we're here for tonight. Slovak Unplugged. And I like how he points at his wristbands, like right at the end as well. Red, white, and blue. Just in case you're not too hot on your colours. In case you don't know what red... Like, I have a funny feeling that if you are, like, pro-military and really nationalistic and you look like a fucking cop and you're funded by the Pentagon, I got a feeling that you don't have much problem, like, judging the colours. I feel like you can actually distinctly work out the differences with colours. That's one of your skills. But anyway, like, as ever, it's, you know, with these things, it's not the fact that somebody feels compelled to sing about how much they love their country. That's not what is weird about it. I mean, it is a bit weird, I think. Millions of people do it, though, don't they? Last night at the proms, a lot of that stuff. Every American football game or baseball game. The FA Cup final, I guess they do the national anthem. Do they hit, like, God Save the King? Like, it's all the same shit, right? It's nationalism, it's national anthems. I love my country. You get the idea. But it's like, you know, it's the cringe factor on top of that. And then on top of that, it's like that he bothered to record this, you know, and put it out. And that's the thing that gets me. That's the thing that never ceases to weird me out, is that I know from doing this that he must have sat there writing that song, recording it, doing the harmonies, filmed the video, then sat there editing the video, like the whole thing. And then after all of that, right up to and including the moment that he pressed post, the whole time he's been thinking and reevaluating, and the whole time he's concluded, like, yeah, this is a great fucking idea. This is amazing. I love how this is turning out. And it's not just me. Like, the comments to this are fucking hilarious. You know, like, check this. Hold on. We won't play it again, but I will show you the comments. Check this. This is from Mr. Carol Baskin. He says, I'm gay. I'm married to a dude. I'm a Navy vet. He's active duty Navy. But this is 1,000% gayer than us. And then, like, bear in mind that the guy's like, you know, this song is for you. This is thank you for your service. The next comment says, Hayes Braxton says, I'm sorry for my service. And this is the thing, like, it's not gay, is it? It's a bit gay. It's, you know, I'm not saying it to criticize, you know, I'm saying it, you know, if anything, it's a, you know, it's a compliment. I'm saying, you know, I like this guy. He's muscly. He's an attractive gentleman. You know, I want him to protect me. I want to feel safe in his arms. You know, I want him to tell me that my hair looks good one morning, or, you know. Anyway, the other guy says, he says, I'm sorry for my service. Let me see if I can find any others. Dead Tires 392 says, I added listening to this song to my VA claim. I'm now 100% disabled. Bones Are Their Money says, are you available for guitar holding lessons? Ars Mortis says, this is the greatest comment section on this entire app. 10 out of 10. No notes. Jay Wembury says, someone please tell ICE I'm here illegally. Blackbeard says, the vocal mix could use a little work, but other than that, this song absolutely sucks. Last one. We'll do one more. Look. Maybe one more. Justin Credubill says, I'm a disabled vet, currently in law school to become a VA lawyer. If you listen to this song and want to file a disability claim because of it, please hit me up. And then, okay, this last one really is the last one. Mitch Dawkins says, lyrics, 2 out of 10. Outfit, 1 out of 10. Vocals, 1 out of 10. Guitar holding skills, 8 out of 10. And finally, hate from Australia, 10 out of 10. And should we leave him a comment? You know, do you think he takes requests? He might take requests, right? From the UK. I think I made it very clear that I'm a fan. Should we leave him a... Oh, fuck it, let's do it. Here we go. Can I leave a comment even though I'm not a follower? I think I can. I might have to slide this up a bit. Hold on. There you go. Okay, what's his name? Quilder Music. Can I... Oh, look at that. There we go. Somebody super chatted. Let's have a look. Hazel Hun has dropped $3.75. Have a coffee on me. Thank you, Hazel, man. Thank you. I think I said to the Patreons last week on the Discord, I never expect Patreons or people who have already joined like the channel to super chat. That's just like, I'm really appreciative. Thank you. But you guys are already members, you're Patreons, and hopefully I'll get to meet some of you again next week. We'll talk about that in a second. Let's leave this guy a comment first, shall we? Here we go. Here we go. So bring that up a little bit. Just trying to get a little bit more. Oh, there we go. That's better. That's what I was trying to see. Like a little bit more here. Right. Okay. So what's his name? Hi, Clyde Music. I copied it, didn't I? Here we go. Hi, Clyde Music. Love this. Big fan. Huge. It's inspiring. And it's inspiring me to ask if you take requests. Would you consider, if I pay, and I will pay, would you consider not making any more music for a substantial amount of time? Because honestly, truly, I am deaf as fuck. And honestly, truly, if it's this or my hearing damage, I'd rather listen to tinnitus. Strength. All right, I think that's made my feelings reasonably clear. Okay, guys, right, let's wind up the podcast proper. Shall I bring my kid in again? Is it time to bring my son in? I'll just say a quick thank you to all of you for tuning in for the podcast tonight. I'm going to stick around for a lock-in now. So for those of you who are just joining for the first time this week, it's 7:30 to 8:30 is the podcast proper. And then we stick around for a bit of a lock-in, don't we? Until 9 or just after 9. And sometimes my darling son comes to join us in these lock-in sessions. I'm going to be at a Patreon meetup next Saturday the 7th of June. So if you're not on the Patreon yet, but you would like to come down to London and meet me in person, we can take some pictures, we'll have some drinks, put the world to rights over its many, many wrongs. I will be in East London next Saturday. So jump on the Patreon, join the channel on YouTube, and I will send you an invite. I'll let you know the venue that we are going to be at next Saturday. But yeah, if you need to go now, then I shall say cheerio. Otherwise, let's start the lock-in, shall we? Here we go. The lock-in is this.